I want to tell you about something very exciting that you can put into action today, right now. I want to encourage you to experiment with different ways of thinking. We all think all day long. Your thoughts will directly impact your mood and your feelings, which will determine what you do, how you behave, and who you become. You'll start to discover that when you start to think about things in a different way, your behavior will change, mostly for the better. Your new behavior can push you towards the success you desire. So I want to show you how changing your perspective can change everything. So what do I actually mean by perspective? Perspective is your point of view from where you stand right now. It's all about how you see things. So it's also about your attitude and your approach to the situation you find yourself in. What influences your perspective? Well, it won't surprise you to know that the beliefs you hold and your life's experience will both influence your perspective. Think about a time in your life when something happened, but you and someone else remember it in completely different ways. Same event, but your perspective on it was very different to the other person's. You've seen that happen before, right? It doesn't mean that one of you is right and the other is wrong. It just means that you've both brought your own beliefs and experience to the situation. You both took different things from the same shared experience. Because of that, you've interpreted it differently. Okay, so let's think of another simple example of perspective. And this time, I'm going to use an object instead of an event. So imagine you're sitting at your kitchen table with a mug of tea in front of you. You can see the handle on your right-hand side, some tea in the mug, maybe a pattern on the front of the mug. But what about someone who's sitting opposite you? They're looking at the same mug at the same time, but their view is completely different. Your different perspectives are very different. Neither are wrong, but they are different. And another example. Okay, this time I'll take a place. Imagine you're standing at the top of a tall building and you're looking down from the top. Imagine the view. You're looking down at everything below you. Now imagine someone else who is looking at the same building at exactly the same time, but they're looking at it from the ground, looking up at it. Same building, same time, same weather, but you both see, feel, and experience something quite different. A totally different experience for both of you. And as you can see from these examples, in the exact same situation, two people can have totally different perspectives. It's easy to forget, disagree with, or ignore that another person's reality is different to yours. It doesn't mean one of you is wrong. It's simply about perspective, what you see. That's why seeing something from another perspective can completely change your own perception of things. And there are an infinite number of ways to see the same thing. You must have heard people talking about keeping things in perspective. That really means zooming out and looking at the whole picture, not just a narrow, limited view of something. If you can step back and see things in their relation to everything else, you get a wider view, you've zoomed out, you almost get a view from the bridge. Actually, you start to see things that you didn't see or notice before. Changing perspective really opens your mind to other possibilities. Creative thinkers are great at this. An innovative creative business like Google relies on hiring creative thinkers. Those people must be prepared to break the rules of conventional thinking to find brilliant, groundbreaking, innovative solutions. Google's thinkers constantly innovate. They actively seek to break convention, to find new ideas and perspectives. And here's an eye-opener. Did you know that Google encourages their employees to spend 20% of their working week on side projects? The company allows them to do this at times when they feel most creative, from their morning run to late at night. This open-minded work culture encourages creative approaches. By going against convention and looking for new perspectives, the team at Google created solutions like AdWords, Twitter, Google Maps, and Groupon during those times when employees were getting creative with their side projects. This stuff works, but it's easy to get stuck in a rut and see things from only your point of view. So I wonder, where does your perception come from? Your perception comes from your own mental impression of a situation, where one person sees lack of opportunity, another might see abundance. Of course, you may not be able to change your situation, but you can always choose to change your view of it. I'm certain that you will become what you think about the most. By the law of cause and effect, the things that you think about are the things that you attract into your life. Do you know someone who constantly expects the worst? And how often does the worst happen to that person? On the other hand, do you know someone who always thinks that everything will work out perfectly? And for some strange reason, most of the time things do go their way. Their glass is always half full. Whether you're consciously aware of your thoughts or not, you bring about things that you think about. Your thoughts can attract things into your life. So it makes sense, doesn't it, that you need to be pretty careful about what you think about. The perspective you have on every situation and circumstance will help to shape your outcome. Ever had a problem and the more you stressed about it, the worse it seemed to get? It's the same principle. As you think about the problem more, you spiral. You end up heading down a path focused on all the things that could go wrong. And when life gets difficult, the best thing you can do is step back and try to put things in perspective. And that means widening your view and opening your mind to other possibilities. It's easy to get hyper-focused on what's going wrong in the moment. I know it is. But that can make you feel like your entire world is crashing down. When you change your perspective and you begin to look at the bigger picture or look at things from a new angle, it's so much easier to find solutions. You feel less overwhelmed. You can reframe challenges as opportunities. And wouldn't that feel like a better perspective on life? Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just click below and I will alert you to new videos, details of the live events that I host and other updates. And of course, visit my website for more information.